Before we talk about creating collage, I wanted to show you what images could look like created atop a collage surface. What you see here are lots of portraits and a few still life objects that have been painted over the surface of text collage. The black and white images are where things started, and the work progressed into color as I continued. Sometimes I still work in monotone, it just depends on how I'm feeling or may have been requested by someone who commissioned me. The first thing you'll have to do is find text that relates to what you intend to make. Print the text out, preferably on acid-free paper. Then rip the paper into random shapes. I find doing this helps make the process go faster. I normally put my collage on masonite, but you can use canvas board or mat board as well. Be aware that the mat board may warp as you do this. As you prepare to work, make sure you cover the table you're working on so you don't create a permanent problem on the table. The material I use to adhere the text onto the board is permanent and doesn't always come off surfaces. It can be removed from plastic, but the wood surface of my table is problematic. And you should wear old clothes or studio clothes while you're working so you don't wreck clothes you intend on wearing in public. Basically, I'm going to be tearing the text into different sections. One thing I do want to do is tear off the margins where the printer didn't apply ink to the paper. I need to be careful so that I don't accidentally waste a lot of the paper by ripping too far into the text. Eventually, I have all the text ripped into a variety of sizes for creating the collage. I also highly recommend storing the ripped text in a plastic bag. That way I've got the paper all protected in case I have to stop working from one day to another. I recommend this because it's a really good way to have all the materials in one place so that they're all organized for me. I'm going to take some of this matte medium to start the collage. This is just Liquitex matte medium that I'm going to put on the canvas. I'm going to take my hand to spread the liquid on the surface of my board. Then I'm going to apply my pieces of paper to that, and I'm going to encapsulate the paper with the matte medium so I'm completely covering the piece of paper underneath and on top of the paper that I'm using for the collage. I do have to check that I'm using only one piece of paper at a time in order to ensure that the pieces completely adhere to the board's surface. It does take a while to get the entire surface of the board covered with text. I normally create several collages at once in order to make the best use of my time. I also normally use my bare hand to do this, as the matte medium will ruin brushes if it's not completely washed out of the bristles. Once the collage is created, I can then start painting, which is my favorite part. But that's another video. Stay tuned.